Hi everybody, and welcome to Panache Cruises' latest webinar, all about Yacht Style Cruises. So you may remember Panache Cruises, we specialise in 4 different categories: Elite Ocean, Luxury River, Expedition and Yacht Style Cruising. So it's Yacht Style that we're going to be focusing on today, and we've really got a special treat for everybody today with 5 exceptional guests, people that are exceptionally knowledgeable about their product and really at the top of the game. So I'll introduce William, Danny, Natalie, Anna and Mark in just 1 second. But again, just Panache Cruises, we're all about that nothing is too much trouble service, and we're with you from the moment you call us right the way through to you returning from your cruise holiday. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's get into this afternoon session. It's the first one that we've done where we've got multiple people on other than Panache Cruises. So we usually just have 1 interviewer and a cruise line guest. Today we've got 5 cruise line guests. So let's see how this goes. I'm sure it's going to be enjoyable. I'm sure it's going to be entertaining, and I'm sure it's going to be educational as well. So let's start with our first question, and I'll introduce Natalie Reid from SeaDream. Hi, Natalie, how are you?
I'm really good, thank you. Looking forward to this, yeah.
Excellent, excellent, great. So, Natalie, tell me a little bit about Yacht Style Cruising. Tell me why it's so popular at the moment.
Absolutely. I believe there's a couple of reasons why we're doing so well, all of us in the small yacht style industry. First of all, we've got so many missed celebrations that have happened over this last year. And let's be honest, even if we haven't got a missed celebration, we'll go away and celebrate. So everybody's looking for something a little bit different and looking to spoil themselves. And that's what we do really, really well. All of us do that really, really well. And at SeaDream, we cater for just over 100 guests. So I can assure you, do come on board and you are truly, truly spoiled. If you've never traveled on a yacht before, the best way I can describe it is imagine your favorite restaurant that usually caters for about 50 customers, and tonight it's just 15 of you. So that's the same principle about when you travel on a luxury yacht, James. It's that attention to detail. I believe the other reason why small ship and why yachting is so popular at the moment is because we can take you away off the beaten track. Never has there been a time when we are looking as customers to be taken away from the crowds and off the beaten track. For us at SeaDream, we just focus on the Caribbean in the winter and we focus on the Mediterranean in the summer. So we will take you, James, I'm sure you've cruised the Caribbean many, many times, but trust me, I will take you to some tiny little islands that you've never heard of before, and that's the whole point. Some of them are only 9 kilometers wide. We can all get in, and when we get in, we can anchor off just outside the bays, and we will use our tenders. So we'll do what we call a wet landing. We'll take you to the beach, and we have some beautiful private beaches that we use, and they're exclusive just for our customers. And we do our famous caviar and splash parties, which is as much caviar and champagne as you can imagine, James, whilst enjoying it on the beach. And I guess the same principle as well, when you're in the Mediterranean, I'm sure all the other guys will agree with me at the moment that the Greek islands, hugely popular. Couple of reasons. We've all got our fingers crossed that they're going to be on the green list soon. But also, again, going to tiny little islands away from the crowds. James, you'll look at our itineraries and you will see some of these Greek islands, and you might have been to Greece many, many times, but you will not recognize some of these islands. And actually, even when we go to some of the main ports like Venice, Dubrovnik, we're so small, we can get right into the heart of Venice. So we moor up where the river cruise ships are. So you can see St. Peter's Square in the distance, and you can easily walk into the center of Venice. And when we're in Dubrovnik, for example, we're right there in the harbor. So when you travel on a little yacht, I mean, Atla, our founder's inspiration, he wanted everybody to be able to experience what it feels like to travel on a yacht, whether that be jumping off the back of the sports marina or having dinner out under the stars. So imagine you're in Dubrovnik and you can sit and people watch. You're having dinner outside up on the decking. You've got the best restaurant on the house, and you don't have to deal with any of the crowds or trying to get into any of the restaurants. So you've got the best restaurant in the harbour. So that's yeah.
It's all sounding fantastic already, and we've only spoken to yourself, so I'm going to bring William in. So we've Natalie's talked to us a little bit about what happens on board, and you know, what differentiates small ship or yacht style cruising from other forms of cruising. But tell us a little bit about what the future has in store, William, for yacht style cruising.
Yeah,
and welcome, by the way, William,
yes,
from Scenic. Yes,
I've
introduced you formally.
Oh, thanks very much, James, up in Scotland here. But it's interesting. Glenn Maroney owns Scenic. It's a family company, and what he was sitting in his big apartment in Sydney Harbour, and he'd seen a yacht, and he said, "Oh, I'd like to build one of them." So that's how it all began. So that was his dream, obviously away from river cruising. So the future of yachts, and we've actually purchased a shipyard in Croatia, and we're going to be building, I think, another 6. So that shows you what the Scenic Group are feeling about things and how it's going to go in the future. It's really intimate as well. I think that really gets across. It's much smaller amounts of people on board. They like to get to know each other on board. I think that's also very important. So people are looking for things in the future where they can get closer to destinations, as Natalie mentioned there. So I think that's really important as well. And the environment also, I think, plays into this. You know, we're always thinking about that nowadays. And I think with a smaller ship, smaller amount of people are more conscious of that, being more protective of the environment, local cultures and wildlife. So I think that's why yacht cruising will become more prominent in the future. And obviously, it's lower key entertainment, etc. But people are not really looking for that. They want this style. So they're looking for lectures, you know, that type of thing. So I think that's really important as well. Local cultures, getting to know them. Also, flying on helicopters as well. We have the 2 helicopters on Scenic Eclipse. We have a submarine. People initially thought that's just a gimmick, but no, it is so desired now. People are just desperate to get onto these helicopters and fly over Antarctica. And I flew over the northern Honduras islands, and it was amazing. Yeah, to fly off the back of the ship, come back, and then go for dinner and a wee beer or a cocktail, whatever takes your fancy. The future of it, as well as getting closer to places like in Antarctica. The captain can pull up to places that the big ships can't get to, so that's really important for the future as well, for people's ideas and what they want. They want to experience local things. They want to be David Attenborough and Ranulph Fiennes all in one, and then they want the luxury to go with it. So it's all about exploration. It's all about lectures. I've talked to some clients recently as well, and they say that's what they're looking for now. And they're looking for the bucket list trip as well. And a lot of the yachts will do that for them and get to places that they never have thought of before. So a lot about that.
And one of the things you mentioned there, William, is the size of yachts and the number of people on board. But interestingly, from what I've read, there's up to 3 times the amount of space per person on a yacht versus a more mainstream cruise. So I think that's also quite interesting, isn't it? You know, there's actually more space, even though that the smaller vessels.
Well, Scenic Eclipse can take 228, but you don't really notice that on there. You know, it's so much space when you're walking around. It's incredible.
Fantastic. No, it looks really special from the pictures. But at this point, I'm going to bring in Danny Joel. Danny from Emerald Cruises. How are you?
Very well, James. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. Very good, very good. So what tends to be included in yacht style cruises, Danny? Tell us a little bit about that. What do you include at Emerald?
Yeah, first and foremost, the Emerald Zora, for those of you not familiar about her, she's still being built down in Southeast Asia. Just to give you a bit about her first, she's 110 meters long, only 50 cabins, and she takes 100 guests on board. And just like William said earlier, Glenn Maroney, when he done an opening speech just recently, he said, who wants to feel like a billionaire? Well, we all do, but not so much to have £1 billion in our bank. And that's the kind of what he wants to give our guests. But there is so much included with Emerald, James, and it's just like our river offering. So it's what we call exceptional Emerald value. So return flights and transfers, all your meals will be included on board in the wonderful Reflections restaurant. So a full buffet breakfast, buffet lunch, and a full a la carte dinner. Your wine, beer, and soft drinks will be included. Included excursions, so up to 2 excursions per day. So an Emerald Active, those who've got a bit get up and go, and an Emerald Plus as well. We have free Wi-Fi on board, bottled water restocked daily, all your port charges and taxes included, plus we would take care of all your gratuities and tipping. So we call it a fully inclusive service.
So is it fair to say, can you leave your wallet at home? Dare I say that, Danny?
I think you could, yeah, most definitely leave your wallet at home. Maybe just to chuck a few pennies behind the bar for some fuel or drinks, but apart from that, yeah, just definitely leave your purse and wallet at home.
As a good friend of mine says, it's not the cost to get on, it's the cost to get off the cruise, isn't it? But, you know, if everything's included, then you tend to know where you stand, don't you? So that's great news. Well, thanks for that, Danny. My next guest is Mark from Tradewind Voyages. How are you, Mark, and welcome?
Well, James, thank you for having us.
Good, good. So you guys have got a brand new ship and it's got sails on it. Tell us a little bit about that. You know, what's it like under sail? And am I right in saying customers can actually sail the yacht themselves?
They can, James. I'll come on to that at the very end. Just for those of you that are not familiar with Tradewind Voyages and the Golden Horizon, we're a brand new cruise line that started up last year. The Golden Horizon is the world's largest square-rigged sailing ship, and we have just 272 guests and 159 crew on board. So really, in answer to your first part of the question, what is it like to be on board a sailing ship? Well, on board the Golden Horizon, it's where, when we're at sail, is it when it really comes alive. And this is what the Golden Horizon and other sailing ships are designed to do and become a real true sailing experience for our guests when they're on board. Imagine yourself, James, as you're coming across the Indian Ocean, maybe from Dubai to Singapore, with the wind behind you, the wind filling the sails, and we're there with no motor propellerizations, the ship just gliding and cutting through the water, maybe with a bit of spray coming off the ocean as well, and a little bit of motion on the ship. It's what the Golden Horizon is designed to do and makes it a real true sailing experience for your guests and for ourselves when they're on board. It is a unique concept that we've brought to the industry. In fact, we design all of our itineraries by using the wind and the currents to take us as our compass as we sail around the world. And yes, it is true, on board the Golden Horizon, there is the opportunity for yourself and your guests to stand at the helm with our sailing master and have the opportunity to steer the world's largest square-rigged sailing ship as we go around the world. It's a true sailing experience and something you need to go back and tell your friends and family post your holiday.
Sounds absolutely awesome, Mark. I really want to get at the helm and steer that ship along. I suggest not after too many gin and tonics, though, but sounds fantastic, mate. Really good, really good. So last but by no means least, Anna, welcome from Windstar. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Yeah. And you're not content with having yacht style cruises with sails or with an engine. You've got both, haven't you? So tell us the difference. What's the difference between the two?
Yes, we are a little bit greedy when it comes to the different types of sailing. So we've got 3 in both class, so 3 with sails, 3 without the sails. Overall, we like to say that we give the same amazing experience, luxury as you like it, nothing too formal, but great dining, great service, all of our water sports included. Obviously, that's the whole point as to why we want to cruise on yachts. But there's something really quite special and quite romantic when you're leaving a port and the sails unfurl one by one and you're under wind power. It's just something that, you know, it's something really, really special out there. Most sailing yachts across lots of brands offer like an individual sail away ritual. So we at Windstar, we play a dramatic song. We play the Conquest of Paradise from the film 1492. And as you can imagine, standing on the top deck with a glass of champagne, hearing that spectacular music sailing away as the sun's setting is just something incredible. So it literally gives me chills every time. We generally find that, just to get into the nitty gritty a bit more, obviously the ones with sails, we find that they're a little bit smaller. The accommodation is a little bit smaller. There's not as many venues as what you would have, for example, on a bigger yacht, as our sailing yachts only take 148 passengers. But it's for people that really want to immersify themselves into the surroundings, and they want to immersify themselves into the local area. And we know that it's generally more fit and active people that want to be outside and not confined to their suite or anything like that. So it's an open bridge policy. So again, we can offer, if you're interested in sailing, a sailing yacht is perfect for you, because you can go and stand with the captain, ask as many questions as you want, and ask questions about the destination.
Fantastic. I mean, guys, the product sounds absolutely amazing. I've been on a couple of Yacht Style Cruises, and they are absolutely awesome. The service that you get is so attentive. You get to know everybody on board. The food is out of this world. And like you say, getting into those niche destinations, or you know, having the ability to jet ski or go on a helicopter that's already on board, or even steer the ship itself that you're on, it's just amazing, isn't it? It's just a fantastic niche. And that's why at Panache Cruises, you know, we're really focused on working with you guys and really pushing forward our yacht style business. So really appreciate your input there. So let's move on now. Let's go on board. Let's talk to William about the food on board. Tell us a little bit. I've not had my lunch yet, William, so you know, just be careful what you're saying. I'm going to get really hungry here, but you know, tell us how good the food is on board.
Oh, great! We do great fish suppers, James. Anyway, I'm only kidding. But Scenic Eclipse has 10 dining options. I mean, for a ship that size to have all those, you've got teppanyaki, you've got French cuisine, you got Italian. We do cooking classes as well. These are really becoming really popular with people, so they'll come and learn all the tricks of the trade with the chefs. And it's all about the chefs as well, not being in the galley all the time. They're coming out and meeting the customers all the time, and they're really enjoying that. I mean, we had a meal in chef's table. It was 14 courses. There's your lunch there for you. And the chef comes out and talks about what the recipes are, brings all that to the forefront as well. And I think that's really important too. You can also have meals in your suite. I sat in the Caribbean just off Graham's place a couple of times on off Honduras, and sat in the balcony. I had a full breakfast, everything I needed, and just sat there and looked out onto the ocean. Yeah, it was just, you know, just absolutely wonderful. We're offering new menus every day as well, so you're not stuck to maybe, oh, that's going to be the same for a week. So they're doing that, and over 2,500 recipes that they've got on board. So it's incredible. And then also, we're, you know, when you're going to different places like Chile, like Siberia and Russia now as well, Japan, we will bring that cuisine, that idea onto the ship, and it will complement what people are cruising through. So I think that's really important. But food is, yeah, it's a gastronomic delight.
Oh wow! What a finish! What a finish, William! Fantastic. So Natalie, we've got this fantastic food. I can see it now. I'm getting hungry already. But how is it served? What's the service like on the yacht overall? You know, how attentive is it, the service? Tell us a little bit about that.
The service, it's all about the crew, isn't it, at the end of the day? And I'm really, you know, we're really lucky at SeaDream. It sounds corny, but it's a small family, and we've been operating for 20 years. And most of our crew have been with us that entire time. And our crew is one of the reasons why we have such a high repeat business. And like William said, you know, the chef will come out. We've got Thomas, our main chef. he will come out and he'll talk to our guests and he'll get to know them, because we have just such few customers. He'll look at the inventory before the guests arrive and he'll see, okay, I know that customer, I know their favorite meal, I'm gonna have it waiting for them on the table on their first night. And if you are new to SeaDream, he'll spend time getting to know you, getting to find out what you want. So by the time you get the next meal and he's been to see his suppliers, then your favorite, you just happen to mention that you love something and it's there waiting for you on the table the following night. It's exceeding that your expectations is all about what traveling on a small ship is about. And one of the other things that he does that our customers absolutely love is called a chef's walk. And we do this in the Mediterranean, and it's not an organized shore excursion. You're not paying for it. They're not trying to sell you anything. It's literally Thomas taking a handful of our guests to our suppliers, whether that be in France or Italy. And you can just imagine, can't you, James? You know, he turns up and I'm going to do a terrible, hello, Thomas, welcome. You know, can't do a Mediterranean accent, but, you know, the guests are absolutely spoiled. You know, champagne, Prosecco, rosé wine, try this cheese, try this meat. They absolutely love it. And it's those unique offerings that you can get on a small ship that you just wouldn't be able to do on a big ocean ship. You wouldn't be able to take a handful of guests just on a little walk with you to go and get some food and supplies. So that's one thing. And I would say the other thing is there's 95 crew to just over 100 guests. And whilst all of us offer a very relaxed, informal feel when you're on board, trust me, behind the scenes, they are working so hard. It is so polished, but you just don't even know it's happening. It's really relaxed, really subtle. And they have time to be able to spend talking to your customers, getting to know what they want. So they might see you sat on the Balinese beds and they just know that you're just sat watching the ocean, just want a cup of tea, and or they know your favorite cocktail. I have to say, traveling on a yacht, I'm sure you'll agree with this, James, you get the best sunsets when you're on a yacht. You don't get that when you're on an ocean ship and you're 20 decks up. So yeah, knowing what your favorite cocktail is, having your foot massage by our spa gurus out on the deck, or maybe they'll make up Balinese beds so that you can sleep out under the stars, and you get given your pajamas on arrival and we embroider your name into our pajamas. So I can't say it enough, it's that attention to detail that really makes yacht cruising so special.
Wow, it sounds amazing, doesn't it? And it is amazing. I've been fortunate to experience it myself, but the service is absolutely bang on across all the different brands that are represented here today. So fantastic. Thanks for that, Natalie. Danny, let's talk. Let's go ashore. Let's talk. Am I allowed to call them excursions?
You certainly can. Yes, you can.
Yes.
We call them Emerald Active and Emerald Plus, but yeah, they are excursions, or they're a program, shall we say. So it's key to note that she launches in January 2022, sailing the Red Sea, and then she'll follow the sun to the Eastern Mediterranean, the Adriatic coast, and then the Western Mediterranean. And as I said before, we include 2 excursions, an Emerald Active and an Emerald Plus. So those that have got a bit of get up and go, the hiking and biking, and then the Emerald Plus, that's the city, a bit of a lower pace city tours and things like that. And I have some examples here. So one of them is the Contour in Montenegro. This is an Emerald Plus. This is an exclusive concert in a local church featuring a guitar duo. So this is a real exclusive to all of our guests, and apparently it's going to be really, really popular. In Sharm el Sheikh, we have in Nama Bay a glass bottom boat trip. We all like a glass bottom boat trip, don't we? And that's part of the all-inclusive as well. And also down in Porto Acole, if I've said that right, we also have an Emerald Active and hiking tour of Forte Filippo. So yeah, we include 2 excursions per day to get their guests off and to experience all the local surroundings. But also we do something called Discover More. This is where we would take them completely off the beaten track, a little bit further afield, but that would come at an extra cost. But part of the exceptional Emerald value, we offer 2 excursions per day.
Fantastic. Sounds great, Danny. I mean, you know, there's a common theme running here, isn't there? It's all about attention to detail. It's all about immersing yourself further into things. So whether that's on your excursion or in the food, and bringing in the local produce. And it's all about personal service. That's what I'm getting across here, or you guys are getting across to me. And just some of the bigger ocean going cruise ships just can't offer what you guys do, and that seems to be the biggest differentiator for your products. It's absolutely amazing. But Mark, you've got an even different proposition, haven't you, when it comes to itineraries? So tell us a little about Tradewind Voyages and your itineraries, please.
So with Tradewind Voyages, I touched on earlier, we're truly unique in the fact that we design all of our voyages using the winds and the currents. So it's a really unique way that when our marina team first sit down and decide where they're going to take the Golden Horizon, they look to see what the currents are doing around the world at certain points of the year. They look to see what the winds are doing at certain points of the year. And then that becomes our compass for where we take the Golden Horizon throughout the course of our seasons. And it means that we can operate 70% of each season under sail. So we've got some beautiful and stunning itineraries, James, that we've got our British Isles season, which is coming up in July and August this year, which is perfect for staycations at sea messaging. And then as we take it down through the Mediterranean, down through the Suez Canal, we've got stops in Dubai. We do a complete circumnavigation of Australia, and we do a complete circumnavigation of the Indian Ocean. So we've really designed all the itineraries so they're all line voyages, so there's no back-to-backs with us at all. But really, the beautiful thing about us and for all of the products on this call, on the call here today, is that with Golden Horizon, we can visit really small, beautiful, remote locations around the world where you can just have small guest numbers, idyllic beach stops. We have a marina on the back of the Golden Horizon, and then whenever we can, we'll drop the back of the Golden Horizon, get all of our water sports activities out. And that will also allow us, when we're coming across the Indian Ocean on a true sailing experience, to do some surprise stops in the middle of the Indian Ocean and get all of our water sports activities out as well. But for me, the itineraries, it's about the uniqueness and the remote destinations that we can go to.
Fantastic. Again, Mark, sounds absolutely awesome, doesn't it? It just to be on one of those really different itineraries, exploring places that other people don't go to or can't get to. That's what it's all about, isn't it? That's absolutely fantastic. Thanks for your input there. So Anna, everybody likes things to be good value, don't they? We've heard about a lot of things being included in the cost of a yacht style cruise. Tell us a bit more about value that you can see in yacht style cruising.
Yeah, I think the great part of today is that there's a yacht style cruise for pretty much every budget, which is great news for everybody here. So and we've all been on a cruise, and then we've had our bill at the end, and we've pretty much had a shock as to, you think, what happened there? So the great thing with yacht style cruising is how more inclusive it is, so that you won't be having those shocks at the end. Obviously, we've covered drinks, for example, things like your bottled water as you're stepping off the yacht, grabbing a bottled water, saving you probably €5 between the two of you, buying it at a shop nearby, or your cappuccino out on deck for a specialty coffee. Obviously those are included. Dining, we all know that obviously we like good value when it comes to dining, but the majority of us, we don't charge anything extra for specialty restaurants or anything like that. Windstar offer a beautiful excursion which is complimentary, which heads to a local market with our head chef, and you can pick local meats, cheeses, wines, etc., and we'll take those back on board and cook that for dinner that evening. Windstar also offer, which is quite unique, we have a water sports platform. So again, from an excursion perspective, you could take a kayak off if you wanted to. Anybody can go. You can take a snorkel with you, and if you're in the Caribbean, you can kayak off to a little cove somewhere and go snorkeling by yourself. So there's lots of value there for little extras that we offer, completely complimentary. And I think what's really important here is the value of the destination, which all of us are visiting. We can all visit much, much smaller ports of call. We're going into local towns, we're going into local villages. When you're not going to be ripped off when you're going into a massive port where there's thousands of people getting off. We generally find, especially after these times with COVID, You know, these local areas are really looking forward to having us back. That's an extra part of income, and obviously we all want to give back as much as we can. All the brands here, we want to try and help those small shops, and we want to shop local. Windstar shop local when it comes to their food. So from a value of yacht style cruising, it's not just for us, it's also for the people that work around the brands as well as a whole.
Yeah, which is a really important point, isn't it? The sustainability of cruising. So it's a good point there, Anna. So thanks very much for your input there. So today we're giving away we're giving away a case of wine for anyone who books in the next 2 weeks, a yacht style cruise in the next 2 weeks. That's courtesy of Panache Cruises. But I thought just before we wrap up and before we finish, I'd just do a quick round the table to see what special offers you guys have got at the minute, or anything that might take your fancy that you want to share with our customers who are listening in and watching at the moment. So should we start with you, William? Anything you want to share with people?
Yeah, so thanks, James. So for Scenic Eclipse, we're saving up to 20% at the moment with the super early birds. So great time to book. And we're also offering door-to-door transfers, so take you from the house to the airport. I think that really makes for a special journey. And we're also offering free one-way business class for certain Antarctica itineraries also. So that's a long flight from London or wherever. So it really helps. And then Emerald Cruises are also offering, sorry Danny, I don't know if I'm stealing your thunder here.
Carry on, Will.
Emerald Cruises are for the Emerald Zora are offering up to 30% discount as well. But you can mention that again, Danny.
Do you want to do Mark and Natalie and Anna's as well, William?
Oh, I forgot. Sorry.
No, great. Appreciate that. I'm sure you've just stolen Danny's thunder, but he doesn't look too bothered. So that's
job.
Great. Natalie.
Yeah, we've got a promotion on it for the Caribbean at the moment. We're not normally a discount brand for luxury yachting, but we recognise that the Caribbean is fingers crossed going to be on that green list. So to encourage customers to book between now and the 4th of June, we're offering £570 off per booking. And as I said, yeah, that's just between now and the 4th of June. And it's for our departures, all our Barbados round trips. Nice and easy, straight from the UK departures from November the 26th until the end of January. For departure next winter, or this winter even.
Some great offers there. Mark, have you got anything to add?
Yes, thank you, James. So we've got two unique offers in the market at the moment. So the first one is on our inaugural voyage on the 1st of July. So the first opportunity to come on board the world's largest square rig sailing ship. We're offering a drinks on us package. So in the inaugural voyage, amazing opportunity to come on board and have all your drinks included for the 5 days as we sail from Harwich up to Edinburgh. And then for 2 of our voyages later on in the summer in July, for our Maritime Cities of the Northwest, which departs from Glasgow to Liverpool, and then our second voyage from Liverpool back round to Harwich. If anybody that books a marina cabin will get an automatic upgrade to our gallery cabins. So opportunities for destinations at sea this summer.
Great, Mark. 1st of July, I mean, how close does that feel? We're getting there, aren't we? We're getting there, guys. We're going to be sailing soon. Anna, give us some deals. Yeah,
so we've got some great single promotions at the moment. So if you're a single traveller, we've got just at 20%. So that's really something to look out for if you're desperate to get away. And also, if you've missed a big birthday or you've missed a big celebration or anything like that, make sure you tell somebody at Panache, as we can offer up to 21% off your next voyage if you're celebrating something special. And purely for Panache alone, on top of your wine case that you're giving, James, Windstar will give another $100 onboard credit as well as a thank you for joining us today.
Well, that's very generous of you. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Well, guys, I think that's a wrap. I think we've done really well there. I've really enjoyed speaking to all of you, and hopefully we've got across, the fantastic product that Yacht Style Cruising is, and the great value as well. So, we'll join you again soon. And thank you to my guests, William, Danny, Natalie, Anna, and of course, Mark. So thanks, guys. Really appreciate your time, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks, Nick. Bye.
Bye.